Namdari here. Thank you for watching. Please, begging you, like, subscribe, buttons below. Click, share, tell your friends. The more you do, the more I grow, the more I can bring you. Have a great day. All right. Welcome to another episode of Grinds My Gears. I am Ashton Namdari, and today we got Anastasia Nikolakakos, aka NMLA. And before we get to her, though, well, go on to www.ashtonamdarimma.com. Grab your Nobody Cares Work Harder gear. Enter discount code Brown Privilege. Get yourself some of that privilege right there. This episode is also brought to you by Rebecca Godfrey Artistry. Rebecca Godfrey Artistry is a fine art design brand with unique prints, clothing, and accessories to bring color to every area of your life. Log on to www.rebeccagodfreyartistry.com. Sign up for her newsletter and you get 10% off. Annie,
Boom.
the most
baby.
And also energetic caffeine. It's like you're on caffeine, crack, and all the drugs at once. How you doing?
I'm kidding. I don't do that stuff. I don't do that stuff. I promise. Jeez, relax. I'm doing amazing, baby. How are you doing? I'm excited.
I'm doing good. I'm excited to have you here today.
Likewise.
First things first. You are known for all that high ass energy. Where in the fuck do you get that from?
Woo! Listen, I don't know. Like, it's actually scary. Honestly, it's God energy. And people are like, what does that mean? A lot of people know. It's legit God energy. Like, I don't know. I'm constantly meditating. I'm constantly manifesting. I'm constantly talking to God. I'm talking to all my angels every day, all day, just like I'm talking to you. It's seriously that. Like, I play no games. Like, I have friends telling me that I can't call them at night. Okay, one of my best friends, all right? Yeah. I am not allowed to call her at night because I hype her ass up way too much. So she's like, I can't. Like, we couldn't even talk yesterday.
So for people who don't know Anastasia, first things first, she is one of the most badass female fighters on the planet. She is don't shake your fucking head. You know you know you fucking are. Invicta FC veteran, really one of the top martial artists. I don't care what she says. RG, our coach, even says it in the gym. Hardest worker in the room, no matter what. Not only that, she runs an amazing business, fitness training, the agency as well. We'll get to all of that today. But highly credentialed martial artist, highly credentialed business person, and it comes all from that energy. And I'm glad to bring it here today, and glad to showcase what women's sport and what a real woman athlete looks like right here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Like, very excited. Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, like 45, baby.
First thing I wanted to touch on is, like I said, badass female MMA fighter. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is, like, when you get into the gym, especially with female of your caliber, a lot of people will, try to train with you and be like, oh, I'm going to beat that ass. They think they're going to beat your ass up. And I'm sure you have many, many stories of guys that walked in thinking they're going to beat your ass up, and you put it to them. Tell me about some of that shit.
Yeah. Wow. I've been doing this for a very long time, like, where do I even start? Of course, like, this is, I don't know. I'm going to go off. If I lose track, it happens. Try to bring me back. Okay. Trust me, like, pay attention. Everyone knows this. Like, ADHD on, like, 111. Anyways, see what just happened? You already know it just happened. Shut up, Annie. Okay. Jeez. All right. Yeah, no, there's always, I don't know. Like, I'm not even that person though, that really cares. I think for the most part, everybody in this world has an ego. Yeah. I like to think, in martial arts, I was actually speaking on it to a few of my students yesterday. And, anyways, there was a gentleman, he's been in judo his whole life, and, he wants to be taught, by myself. And I'm, for me, it's amazing. This man's older than me. This man's been doing it, judo his whole life. His father taught him. And, here he is, being so humble and asking me for advice in MMA and wanting to train with me, and his kids are in my children's program, and I look at this man, I'm like, that's no ego right there.
Yes.
That is beautiful. So we're talking, I'm like, I like to think that in martial arts, I never say I'm a fighter. I always say I'm a martial artist because it's more than just fighting. I actually hate fighting. We'll talk about this
Yeah.
anyways.
Well,
Later on.
same with me.
Yeah, yeah. Like I absolutely hate it, but it's my life. It's martial arts. It's the martial arts lifestyle, and it's. I looked at this man. He's talking to him like, look at that. That's no ego right there. That is beautiful. And I like to think that in martial arts you shouldn't have it, but a lot of times going back to your, if I've ever dealt with that, it's huge. People have so much ego, and I think that's just with humans in general.
Do,
So
do, do you
yeah.
think it's humans in general? Or you think it's testosterone in men? Because I
No,
would err
no,
on
no,
the
no.
side to say it's testosterone because I've read it's like some stupid study, not even a credible one, but they're like 95% of men think they're more effective in a fight than they actually are, which is probably true.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, do you ever find that because you're such a skilled athlete and a skilled competitor that people just want to almost when they train with you, they want to hurt you just to kind of prove a point, like just because she's a
Yeah,
girl?
yeah, yeah. If you're talking from the perspective of a male versus myself as a female,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. But honestly, yeah, there's been situations in jujitsu, being in the gi, no gi, competitions, or just in the dojo in general. Of course, there was always that ego. People are always trying to kill me. I'm always the smaller person my whole life.
yeah,
If I'm fighting, I'm 9 times out of 10 the opponent's bigger than me, and I've always been like that my whole life. So it's not, and sometimes people are like, oh, do you get angry? I never get angry. I never look at myself as being smaller, or that you're a guy, or that you're a girl that's trying to beat me. It's like, no, it's just for me, it's a game and it's fun.
yeah,
So when people approach me like that, I know it is what it is. Like I can put it on too.
yeah.
Like I can put it on, but I'm gonna do it in like a respectable way, because that's how I was raised in the dojos. I wasn't, started at 17, which is fine if you have.
Yeah,
I'm like traditional, like from karate background, kempo karate to grappling to wrestling to jujitsu to Muay Thai to boxing. So I've had all this experience. So, it's for me, like when people are like that, that's crazy to me. But again, people are people. And so when people approach me like that, I'm just like, whatever. Like, do
yeah,
you, boo boo? God bless. I wish you nothing but the best. Let's train. Woos. Let's go. Like whatever it is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Now, like for women's MMA, the last 3 4 years, fuck it, exploding, right? From
Y-
us from a slow start where it was like nobody wanted to watch you guys, and even like
Which is crazy to me.
the
Crazy.
UFC at one point, like I love Dana White, but at one point Dana was like, women will never fight in the UFC, and then
Crazy. Remember that statement?
yeah,
Whoa. Do
I
you remember
remember that
that?
statement. And then obviously there's the iconic women like Gina Carano, right? It was the
Who's,
first Chris Cyborg, and then
yeah.
Ronda Rousey came in and really changed
Misha
the game.
Tate. Can't forget about Mish.
Can't forget about, hey, she came back. Hey,
She
shout out
came back, baby. She came back.
after
Shout out to Misha.
two babies stretching out her belly. She fucking came back and she looked fantastic.
She
Shout
looked
out to
great. I
Misha.
think the best. Think the best she's ever looked, to be
Yeah,
quite honest.
but
So
all
I
these
am.
women really changed the game. And really propelled women's MMA really far ahead to the point where you guys are headlining major shows now.
Hmm.
You have all women's organizations, which you are a part of, and it's really brought it to the forefront. Like I don't think I would watch a card now and there's not a female fight in the main card. There's always a
Right.
female fight in the main card because women have really stepped that game up. Now, do you think that will continue? Do you think it will continue to develop that way, or do you think the men's MMA will continue to be the preferred version, so to speak?
No, it's definitely. I think that just goes with with male. Who runs the world? People like to say males, but like, except for Beyonce, who run the world, girls.
Yeah,
But it's like I want to say, of course, it's going to keep propelling up. It's going to get more exciting. Look, it already has. Can you imagine where it's going to be?
Yeah.
I think at some point it's going to be equal, but what I would, it's going to be at that same level, of course. Sorry if there's messages coming through. People, trees, relax. Anyways, God bless. God bless. God bless. God bless. It's definitely going to keep shooting up, but then there's always going to be the male and the female, and who gets paid more. It's at the end of the day, it's the money. And I hope to God that changes. Going back to Ronda Rousey, listen. I'm not one of those people that shit talks. I ain't got time for it. All right,
Yeah.
but everybody's different. But let me just say, she changed the game forever because of Ronda. God bless. Okay, and being the character that she is the reason why women's MMA has shot up. And
Yeah.
the reason why women can get paid more. So God bless Ronda. Okay. I
Yeah.
hope everybody
100%.
recognizes that.
Well,
I hope everybody recognizes that,
well,
know?
in terms of the pay thing, I think you're seeing a shift too, because when you see the release salaries as in the UFC especially,
Can't take it.
women are getting paid equal and or more of the men right now, and I tend
Pretty
to
much, eh?
agree with that, and well, I think fighters in general are underpaid. Like we make dirt shit for what we do, but that's besides the point. My
Mm.
point being is, it's nice to see like the lioness Amanda Nunez. Uh,
Mhm.
I think the biggest takeaway from women's MMA is you're seeing people like her, who in my opinion is one of the greatest of all time in terms of fighting, getting pay-per-view money. That's the fuck you money. That's the money that really separates you apart. And
Yep.
we 5 years ago we wouldn't be saying any woman's getting any pay-per-view money except for Ronda
Mhm.
Rousey. Now the
Mhm.
game has changed in that sense. So, in my opinion, I think what you guys are doing, especially athletes like you and some of the women in the UFC, is really inspiring younger martial artists, especially girls, because there were before like martial arts was just like, oh, you train martial arts to learn how to defend yourself. Now
Yeah.
women and girls can see, hey, I could do this as a potential career. I can continue to go further in this and take it to the next level, which is
Uh-huh.
really something that that's why I can see it growing exponentially over the next 10 years.
Oh, for sure. 100%. And everybody, the talent's only getting better. I
Yeah.
really, the talent's only, I'm the next generation. I'm training, I'm teaching. And, and it's like, I wish I was like 21 or 19. I say 21 because that's my favorite number, but like straight up, I wish I was like 19 because I'd be like, okay, but things change, right? As an adult, as a coach, is you running your own business and all that stuff as an athlete. But I know that like, imagine if I was 19, I'm putting myself in everybody's shoes that were coming up because it's only
Yeah.
going to get better. I'm like, imagine if I had all the wisdom of now and I was 19 to take
19.
it and start it then. Woo, baby. Woo!
Here's my only issue with young fighters, right? And I see this, and I'll use a few examples. Like my first example would be like Rory McDonald would be a good one, where
Yeah, yeah.
he gets into the UFC at a very young age, right? Which is great. You can compete, and you're so athletic at a very young age. But I feel like some of those guys that get in at a young age, they're taking their beatings really early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
take
When did Rory start though? I don't know.
Well, his first war was with Carlos Condit way back,
It was huge. It was
that
huge.
was a big fucking, and he was 20 years old, and what I'm trying to get at is, you look at when he gets to a fight like with Robbie, which is to this day one of my favorite fights ever. Uh,
Ridiculous.
After that
Ridiculous.
fourth round, when they're just fucking staring at each other, but they didn't even go back
Bloody.
to the corner, just staring at each other. Robbie's lip is busted in half, and McDonald's nose is terrorized. But
It's brutal.
when he did that fight, he was 27. Now he hasn't lost his step in terms of an athlete, but I feel like when you get into it so young, you take that licks way too early, and you might not be able to continue at a high level into your 30s. You think
I mean, yeah, of course that plays a part, but I think it doesn't matter what time you start at. If
Yeah,
you're starting at 17 or you're starting at 30, I mean 21, whatever the case is, it's how you fight at the end of the day.
yes, yeah, it
Do you know what
depends.
I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it depends what you're doing. Like, if you're look at Mayweather, off topic, but also on topic. Look
yeah.
at Mayweather, pretty boy Mayweather. See, his face looks amazing. I
He's
don't care what anybody says. He's my favorite boxer, and I love a lot of boxers.
Oh
Okay,
fuck
that
yeah,
guy.
he's he's a carry. Well, the first thing is that Floyd knows how to fucking sell a fight. All right. Now,
That, of course. He knows how to win a fight.
he knows how to win a fight. He knows how to sell
Knows how
fight.
to win a fight first and sell a
Tell me
fight.
another man on the planet Earth who can sell fighting a fucking YouTube star and make a shitload of money, and there's no one else that can do it like that, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't take any beating. You know, that's what I'm getting at. Where those, doesn't matter what age you started. Look at Mayweather. He started when he was 5.
yeah,
How he fights at the end of the day.
yeah, yeah.
It's who he is as a fighter. Like, if you're that person that's gonna brawl, and do that every fight, sorry my language, but yeah, you're gonna be fucking in a wheelchair and like, ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't got time for that shit. Don't touch my face. You know what I mean? Don't touch my face. Fuck.
What's your when you get into that cage when that shit closes and they say let's go? What? It's a stupid question.
Ooh, I'm getting like,
For me, it's a stupid question because I kind of know what I go through, and everybody's similar. But what does Annie go through? What is Anastasia thinking at that time? Is it kill or be killed, or is it calm? What calm and collected? What is your like mind every time you fight?
To win.
Just
win. I know.
win?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, win at all
Yeah,
costs. I
obviously.
mean, I never, of course, but I'm not like I'm savage, but I'm also I never want to hurt anybody, and I never want to. But don't get it twisted. I'm
Yeah.
not an idiot because she's gonna try to kill me. But I never want to hurt. If I can do less damage to the person that I'm hitting, or kicking her in the face, or throwing a knee to her skull, or her like. It's fighting, so what's gonna happen?
Yes.
But if I can eliminate that, I would love that. But not everybody thinks like me. But that's how I fight. For me, number one is you got to win.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing, Ash. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. The training camp's not exhausting. This is the focus.
Yeah.
But I'm like I can only speak for myself. I'm on like a next level. Like, as soon as you tell me I have a fight, it's like whoosh. Nothing matters. Like,
yeah,
Annie, I don't even know what's happening. It gets focused. It's like, am I getting this? Or, oh, this is good. Okay, I need to be better at this. Boom. It's like, I try to enjoy life, but I also know that at the end of the month or the next freaking couple months, this chick is going to try to kill me, her and her entire team.
Yeah.
What scares me is losing. I think that that's the thing. But I mean, that's what scares me. But it excites me. And it's like, how am I going to beat this chick that wants to kill me, who's probably bigger than me 9 times out of 10? Maybe she has better jujitsu. Maybe she's a wrestler. Maybe she has better striking. But like, whatever it is, how am I going to beat this shit? And that's what excites me about it. So when I get into when I get into that cage, I make a whole nother realm. Like, I don't remember stepping into the cage.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't give a damn.
You
like,
blank out a bit?
I snap blank out. I'm like, so like, zoom.
So your energy is focused on that task.
Yeah, that's it. The only task is the person in front of me. I'm listening to my coaches. That's it. Me and God. Boom, baby, and my coaches.
Now I know what I feel like when I wake up on the day of the fight. Now I'm going to tell you, like, when I wake up on the day of the fight, this is because it's different between when you get in the cage and it actually closes, and when you actually wake up on the day of the fight. When I wake up on the day of the fight, I'll brush. This happens every time. I fought plenty of times. This happens every time. I'll
Preach it. Let us know.
I'll brush my teeth.
I hope so, dear God. Can I get an amen?
I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll be staring at myself in the mirror, brushing my teeth, and I'll be thinking, I'm like, what in the fuck am I about to go and do later? And I'll go to the hotel. I'll open the window. I'll see somebody walking outside. I'm like, look at this bitch. This person, she's just living fucking life, having a great old time, eating her fucking bagel. My dumbass is in here about to go fucking in a cage with another dude and get my ass beat or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. The morning I wake up. As the day goes on and we get close to the fight, you do a shakeout. Those kind of things go away. But like when you wake up the day of the fight, what's the first fucking thing you think? Are you like, yeah, let's go? Or are you just like,
I like what you're saying because it's kind of true. But that was more of my amateur, like driving up to like a bar. Like you're fighting where? Who knows? Somewhere in Canada, like
Yeah,
fucking farmland, tumbleweed store. I don't know. So on the way up, I'd be like, it's literally that day you're fighting when you're driving your way up. It's not
yeah.
like for pros where you get to the hotel a couple days later before, 4 days later, you kind of like, who settle it? Nah. You're driving straight there. So when you wake up, it's in there. So I would do the same thing. This is amateurs. I'd be like, look at you just driving to the cottage with your boat. Aren't you so lucky?
Yeah,
So funny. So yeah, amateurs, yes. For pros, different. I mean, it's the same, but
yeah.
different. Yeah, no, like I wake up, I'm just focused. Like we weigh in, depending if it's like same day weigh-ins before, whatever the case is. No, it's usually day before.
Day before for
Um,
yeah,
yeah. Usually day before. Just wake up, I'm always on weight. I can have a full breakfast and all that stuff. Oh well, even before I'm talking about the weight cut. But anyways, I wake up, with my team, my comfortable people. I wake up to God.
yeah.
Seriously, I wake up. I move slowly. I pray. I cry. I release.
And then
I have my great people around me, and I say, "That's it. You about to get it. That's it.
that's a great way
Let's
to do
go."
it.
That's
That's a
it.
great.
That's it. We got together. We have breakfast. I try to enjoy the company.
Yeah.
Just because it's like things that you remember when you look back, and it's fighting because you never know what's gonna happen. Like one punch or one kick to the head, you could be seriously. You could be like, like
Well, I mean,
for real.
I'm comfortable saying this. Like my first amateur fight, I got knocked out cold. Right, I got knocked out cold in my first amateur fight, and for most people, that would be like, okay, that's it. I'm fucking
I'm
done.
over.
Right?
Yeah.
Something in my stupid head was just like, you can't accept that. You can't accept like,
No.
but the beauty of that situation for me is like for every fighter, that's their worst fear. Their worst fear is getting knocked out and embarrassed in front of everybody. And
Of course.
for me especially, having it happen at the very first experience in MMA,
First time, eh?
first
Crazy.
time, first experience, for me that was like a blessing from God because I got rid of that fear. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's what I was afraid of. Yes, that sucks. It's terrible, but you know what?
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world because as
Right.
an athlete, you always
It's gonna
view,
happen.
you always view losing as the end of the world, right? Whereas
Oh yeah.
when that experience happens to you very young in your career, you're like, okay, it's not the end of the world. I can bounce back from this. And lo and behold, I
Hmm.
did. I bounced back from that. I went to the professional ranks, and well, I think that's important for younger athletes to realize. Like, and our society is, pretty much pussified competition, right? Where like,
You know, listen, let him say it, guys. Let him say pussified, okay? Just relax. Everybody calm down.
yeah,
We got the feminists over here. Here's what he said. Look what he said. Relax, everybody.
well,
Jeez,
no,
calm down.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, no.
participation is being rewarded now. Where I'm not about that. Like,
Mm.
my example of that is my first grappling tournament. I won a bronze medal, and I fucking threw it out the window. I didn't want it.
Jeez,
I
that's
didn't
sore
because
loser.
no, okay.
you,
I didn't win. I didn't win. I don't want
straight up, you didn't.
I don't want a
Straight up.
participation medal. I don't want a second place medal. I don't want a third place medal. I don't want a
Of course.
participation. I want to win. And I think it's important for people to lose so that they know what
I
effort it
mean,
is
like,
to take to
if
win.
you can always win, God bless. But if you do end up losing, that's the true test, I think,
Yes.
because it's coming back. That's adversity. That's what that creates your character, not only as a fighter but as a person.
Yeah.
So and that goes with anything. Somebody could pass away tomorrow, and you're loved one. You're like, fuck, that person just died. What am I gonna do? Like, like is those things life before MMA. But
Well,
yeah, of course, as a fighter, for
going
sure.
back to Ronda, there's a good example of someone who didn't really handle it too well, right?
Yeah, but listen. You ain't got time for that shit. But she's a sore loser. That's just straight up. That's what she is. But that's fine because
Yeah.
she's,
No,
she
I'm not
also.
hating on her. She made a great career, built something great for herself. She's living the rest of her life. But for those people who want a good example of it, someone who got used to winning, they got used to winning so much, and
Yeah.
when it happened, and it happened later on in her career, it didn't happen in the middle, didn't happen at the beginning. It happened like when she was in her her prime.
Right.
It fucked with her head, and she couldn't come back from that. Like Holly
She,
destroyed.
well, she's not skilled enough to come back from that
No,
because she was skilled in judo, and before, that's how you remember that's how early that's how the premature women's MMA was. Ronda was just fucking tossing people
yeah,
on by them. These chicks are like, what happened? Yo, Ronda got a fucking 1-2, sorry my language. You see that? You remember when she like turned around like this? And just Holly just fucking remember
yeah,
she ran into like the cage?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you saw the levels. You're like, wow, she wasn't an overall fighter.
No,
Yeah, but God bless, she did what she had to do, and God's like your time's done. And
yeah,
other people just that's why it keeps getting better because greats like Ronda Rousey, greats like Misha Tate. It doesn't matter. Even if you people don't think these girls are great or all that, it doesn't matter. They paved that way, and but
who's
going
your
back to
who's your biggest
go,
inspiration in terms of fighter? What female fighter?
myself,
Who? Sorry.
myself.
Oh, okay, that was a good answer.
Yeah, it's so funny because my nephew asked me that, and I love my nephews. I love all my nieces and nephews, but my nephew Emmanuel, and anyways, regardless, I love him. Love you. He always has like deep talks with me. This freaking Sagittarius, I love him.
Yeah,
And he says Annie, right? Calls me Annie. He goes, if you could be anybody in the world, he's like, I know what you're gonna already say, as he already knows. He goes, I know
yeah,
what you're gonna say. He's like, if you could be anybody, just anybody for one day, who would it be?
yeah,
And I'm like, you already know. I'm like, myself.
yeah,
What? Myself. I didn't grow up with inspirations. I didn't grow up with, my mom and dad telling me that you can be anything. And my parents are, I love my mom. I love my dad. But there's like, I didn't grow up like that. So I didn't have people to look up to with the exception of my coaches. So my inspirations it would be my wrestling coach David French, my first instructor that taught me fitness Paul Walker, those guys. But I didn't grow up with be like I want to be like this female, and no, I grew up with like I'm a savage, I'm gonna be the best. That's
yeah,
me. And so yeah, I mean, I'm my own
yes.
favorite, okay, when it comes to that. And I really don't I don't even watch, honestly, I don't even watch the UFC. I only watch it for the people that I want to watch it for, like TJ Dillashaw, baby, he's back. Okay, hopefully his knee's okay. The Habibs, the George St. Pierre. You don't understand. When TJ fought, I went off on this. I'm losing it. Bring me back. Bring me back. Focus. 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 Buddy, anyways, I hope that kind of answers your question. But TJ Dillashaw, baby, you don't understand. Like, I don't watch UFC. Like, I don't watch. You ask me UFC or boxing, I'm watching the boxing over the UFC. I don't know what it is. It is what it is. Anyways,
I,
because
lo-
I just,
I love it when you go on your rants because I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? How is she spewing out thoughts that
yeah,
quick? It's
my
just
mind goes like this, like ping pong, boom, 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 right? Anyways, yes, fuck. Watch your language. Okay, but anyways, TJ Dillashaw, I was like, yeah, baby, like I felt like like you don't understand. People are looking at me like, are you okay? Nobody's ever seen me react like this. Fucking TJ Dillashaw, boom, baby. I don't give a shit.
now,
I love
do
that
you
guy.
think he can put that doping scandal behind him? Because it's pretty big deal. It's a pretty
Ash,
big.
everybody dopes. Ash.
Well, I don't. I'm just saying.
I'm talking about everybody in the UFC. Give me a break. I don't want to name drop. You can't say it like that, but
Yes.
come on. Why? Because you got caught? No, you got, people they tried to, like, down, they
Yeah.
wanted his downfall.
No, no.
And regardless if he did that,
Well, no.
he did.
Well, why don't we just go into that drugs and MMA now?
Okay,
Like,
let's go.
straight up, I know that I've competed against guys that have taken some fucking drugs. Like
For sure.
my last fight, we were looking at the guy's tape, and it was from the year before, so it wasn't even like like sometimes you look at a fighter and you
Recent.
see their tape like 10 years before. You're like, oh no, this was the fucking year before. So when we looked at the tape, we're like, this guy's fat, he's out of shape,
Yeah.
he's not that skilled. I get to the weigh-ins, motherfucker's chiseled as shit. I'm like, Jesus,
No.
fucking.
Jeez! You don't need Jesus.
Ask my
You
wife.
don't need Jesus.
Ask my wife. She watched the film. My wife always watches the film with me, and she'll be like, "Yeah, take the fight," right? So she'll always be like, "Yeah, take the fight," or she'll be like, "Yeah, it's a decent fight. You're gonna have to prepare." But this one, she watches the guy. She's like, "Ashton, take the fight. He's soft in the belly. He's not gonna be ready for you." So I take the fight, and I'm not scared of it. But I get to the weigh and I'm like, how does this motherfucker have 8-pack? A year ago you had 0 packs. How do you have 8 packs?
Yeah,
I'm like,
focus,
Jesus.
focus.
But
Scary shit.
drugs and MMA, it's a big thing. And I think
If you
reason,
get caught, it's huge.
yeah.
It happens all the
But
time.
like it's a big thing, and I think because it's a big thing because the sport is so damn hard. Like, I don't want to toot our own horns because we're in the sport, but there's so many things to take into account. You have to be good at grappling. You got to be good at striking. You got to be good at wrestling.
Technique,
You got to
cardio.
be technique. You got to got the cardio. You got to have the strength. It's You have to have the mindset. It's unlike any other sport. I don't care what any other athlete says.
No.
Walk a day
This
in
is
our
not to take away from like football and
no, no,
all the
I'm not.
but
Not taking, not taking away. Not taken away,
no,
but it's
this
on another
yeah.
level. I've played football at a high level in collegiate too, and I can tell you right, it's not a sport where you can social loaf. It's not a sport where you can hide behind your teammates and they make the play and you give them
Yeah, of
high five.
course.
This is a sport where it's you. You
It's you.
train with the team, but when you get in there, it's all you. And
Yeah.
because of that, the nature of the sport, guys and girls push themselves beyond physically possible, and they break themselves down. And 90% of the time, they're going to resort to those performance enhancing substances to aid with that recovery. Because if you're doing 3, 4, 5 sessions a day, sometimes depending on the athlete, you got to recover, right? So it's a part of the sport, and I know they're trying to clean it up. But do you think it's as big in women's MMA? Are women using it that
Of
much?
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Half these chicks have abs on their face. I'm like, geez, what's wrong with that? Why is that girl got an apron? I don't care. I don't care. Cause like I'm natural. But like you look at these, I'm like, shit, that girl like but listen, if you feel like you need to take something to beat me
Yeah.
or to beat the next girl, you already lost.
You think so? Yeah.
You already lost.
Abs on face. That's a
Abs
good one.
on face. Check out my one pack. This girl's got fucking abs on her face. What's happening here, people? Make me mad. That's when you gotta smash them and break your hand on their face. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. No, I'm not
Well,
kidding.
what do we do about this? What do we do about the drug problem? Other than the testing and all the shit that it is, there any way past it, or is it just something that we're gonna have to deal with going forward?
We're always gonna have to deal with it because at the end of the day, we don't make the decisions. We just there. We show up. We fight. You
Yeah.
want to be professional. You can only control yourself. I can't control what the other opponent's doing, what their team's doing, what the what's it called? What are those people called? The organizers, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Promoter.
The promoters, the everything that goes involved, the doctors. We're not in charge of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you would hope that people, would be on that shit. But money talks. Sometimes things people can get paid. Like, it is what it is. You can't go into a fight like that though. It's like you can't go to a fight saying, I might get knocked out or I potentially could die from this. No, you don't think of that. You just do.
Yeah.
Like you're focused. That's why this is everything. Because of course, all that complaints, you're gonna start thinking about this person and what that person's eating. Oh my god, she's got abs on her face. Oh my god, look at this. Yo, stay focused. Be in your connection to God. Boom. Whatever you believe in, that's me. I can nothing can touch me.
No.
Listen, you're gonna hit me, but I know that if I'm ready and I ask the Most High, are we ready? And He says yes. Baby, we're ready. Baby, we're ready. And if we're not, he says no, then we ain't ready. I already know. It's been like that for my whole career.
As a female athlete, not just an athlete, as a combat sport female, right? Do you find that people view you differently because you fight, like as some sort of like, you understand what I'm saying, like not ladylike? You understand what I'm saying? Do you find like people stigmatize you a bit just because you choose to compete in a cage, so to speak, and you're a female?
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't care what they think, to be quite honest.
I know that. I know you don't.
Yeah, no, but that's what it comes down to. Like, okay, what are they thinking? Wow, she's so vicious. But I'm not. I'm not that person. Like, but people are like, like it's like, I hate telling people that it doesn't matter. It's been a while since I fought, but regardless, like I know who I am as a martial artist, as a fighter, what my potential is, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when people talk about it, it's like I don't even want to talk about it because they always ask me like, oh, they think like it's got this stigma because you know why? Because half the MMA world is like, sorry, it's like everybody's a dum dum. It's like you can't like you talk about MMA. It's like this. They're all characters. So, like, go back to what you asked me. Sorry, I lost it. This is what happens.
Yeah.
What did you ask me? What did you ask
No, I'm
me?
asking
Go.
you like
Shoot.
when regular people, when you encounter other people and you tell them you're a fighter, or they find out
Yeah,
you're a fight, if they view you any differently. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I would say that they get excited. They're like, wow. And then they like touch you and stuff. It's like the whole thing. And I'm like, and they're like, well, what about if your opponent does this? You could really kill this guy or this. I'm like, or this girl. I'm like, "Hey, listen, they can kill me. I can kill them. You kill. You know, I don't know. They get excited. Nobody really judges. A lot of people. So I was actually over the weekend. I was at my sister's up north, and great people, neighbors and stuff. But when you start talking about fighting, there's like if I show a technique to a man, especially
Yes.
women get scared. They're like, you're like girly girls are like, oh no, Anastasia, like they're like that. They're like, so they'll call their husbands, and the husbands are like,
Well,
let's go. And yeah, really, right? So I was teaching some of the husbands, and some. This is where it goes back to like some people are unteachable. Like,
yes.
there's difference between somebody that's a good student. I can give you a move or a jab or a cross, and they don't have no ego. They're like, yeah, man, that chick knows what she's doing. Clearly, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the other guys, okay? They'll be like, yeah, but what if I do this and this and this? It's like their ego gets like, I'm like, dude, like I can kill you, legit. Like I will single leg you right here, okay? And I will break the knee, and I will grab and drop the hips and like
Yeah.
you can't do that. You can't do that. But that's like the two extremes. Some people are like, wow, and some people are like, oh yeah, you think you're the best? I'm like, what the hell? No. What the fuck are you
Well,
talking about? You know?
now you've transitioned a bit to coaching. You haven't left athletics. You're still fighting, but as a coach now, what I wanted to find out is, like you were saying, some people are uncoachable, right?
Yeah.
Do you do you find that as like more of a challenge? You want to like turn them into coachable, or do you be like, okay, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe I'm not the right trainer or coach for you, or like how do you
Hmm.
approach that when you have a student who's very closed off like that, closed minded?
Yeah, I'm very straight up about it. Of course, like I don't give up. I'm meant to coach in every aspect,
Yeah,
mentor, coach, and that's why this is part of my purpose. So I love what I do. I would do it for free. So when people are like that, I show them, I give them chances, whatever. They keep coming, whatever the case is. Some people are like, fuck, she knows what she's talking about. Or you spar with them and you kick their ass and they're like, thank you, coach. And they
yeah,
stay. Or some people are just like, no, I can't do it. They give up, but that's not because of me. They just gave up on themselves. And if I don't think that I am the right coach for you,
hmm
I will bring you to someone that I think you can be coached by.
yeah,
If you need something more, something different, something that I'm a small fighter, maybe you need a big guy to teach you. Maybe you're more comfortable with a guy coach. I'm
yeah,
not that person. I don't have ego. Like,
yeah.
listen, I
And
know my shit, and if I don't, I'll bring somebody in, or I will send you to somebody
yeah,
authentically.
and that's a big problem in not just in MMA, in the fitness industry, because like coaches and
Hmm.
trainers, they all a lot of them are always obsessed with, I want clients, I want people, I want money, right? But they don't take into account that you have to bring in a certain culture to your gym or to your team, right? And if
Hmm.
someone's
Hmm.
not the right fit and someone doesn't set the right tone for the
It's a
atmosphere,
vibe. It's
right?
a vibe. Yep.
Positive vibes only. So someone's not in the right vibe or in the right same mindset as the rest of the group.
They have to go.
If you were so obsessed with revenues and bringing in money, that could affect you more in the future because it might take away the students that actually want to be there, right?
Of course, this is huge. I'm glad you're talking
So
about
I
this.
find
Thank you.
it's a very it's in the fitness
Fine line.
industry. People are so selfish in terms of revenue; they want to make money that they'll keep people and they'll try to bring them in. Whereas I'm of the attitude, like when I do a consultation with somebody who's new, and I work with them for a month or two, sometimes I'll be like, maybe I'm not the right coach for you, and then I refer them to somebody else who I feel where they will
Yeah,
get the
because you're
success.
genuine. Because you're
Well, because
genuine.
I want them to succeed, but I also find sometimes I'm coaching somebody and it's a little too stressful for me because the personalities don't mesh,
There
right?
you go.
And
Release.
that's not a knock on the other person or it's not a knock on me. It's just, it's not the right fit. Whereas I find some people will try to hold on to that too much because they don't want to lose money, right? It's all
Hmm.
about the money
Fair enough.
thing. And then it ends up ruining things in the long run. Whereas like you were saying, I rather find the right fit for a person
Hmm.
than force a situation on them in terms of fitness and in health and that. You agree with
Yeah.
that?
Of course, I think that goes for anything, like your fitness coaching, that goes with life in general. Like your integrity is everything. I mean, nobody's perfect, all right? There's lessons that you learn in life.
Yeah.
Whether that's in business, relationships, a lover, a friendship, it doesn't matter. It's it's how you carry yourself, that it's a vibe. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so high vibing because listen, everybody in this world has been through shit, but not everybody can transcend that and turn it around. Not everybody can do that. And that's important. No, but it's a thing. It's
Yeah,
a
no,
thing. And you know what? Yeah.
no.
Like I want to carry myself a certain way. But I don't try. This is who I am. Exactly, like be authentic. Be
Yeah.
authentic in what you teach. Be authentic. If you want your client, your student to run 10K or 100 sprawls in a row, you better believe that your ass better be doing that too or has done that.
Yeah.
Don't be one
Well,
of those fake people.
I ask this to every coach and every trainer, every athlete who coaches people. How important for you is it to lead by example? Like, be in shape, be doing the things that you do, practice what you preach, nutrition, all of that stuff. How important for it is for you, for your students, and for other people to see that? Because I find there's some areas, especially corporate fitness, right, where
Yeah, yeah.
let's fuck it. I'll say it.
Not gonna name drop. Okay, do you? Do
I'm gonna
you?
fucking name it.
Grind your gears, baby. Grind the
The good
gears.
lives and the LA fitnesses that just hire people and they bring them in, and let's be honest, they're training people, and fuck it, they are fat as shit too, and they couldn't do a lap if you asked them to. I find it's almost insulting to the industry when you have people like that.
But it is a big organization.
Yeah, and but my point being is how important for you, like beyond fighting. Say you weren't a fighter, how important for
Oh,
you is it to be in great shape to spread that vibe, so to speak?
this is my life. like it's like waking up and like drinking water and breathing. Like it is what it is.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's important. You got to practice what you preach. Right? Like it's so funny because I had my knee surgery and all that stuff. I haven't stopped training. My team has been training.
yeah,
This entire pandemic. Okay, we're not gonna touch on the pandemic. Maybe we will. This is definitely gonna go longer than an hour. Jeez. Anyways, what was I saying, Ash? Before I was really interrupted by you.
I didn't say shit. How important is it for you to stay in shape and
Yeah,
active to motivate your clients?
very important, very important. I think I mean I think I gotta always practice for myself first. That's it. Like this is who I am. People know that. There's no what you get is what you see. I
Yeah,
will say this though. Am I fight ready? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I train every single day.
yeah.
I train every single day. But there's a difference between fight ready and training.
Well, you can't be fight ready all the time. It's physically impossible. It's physically impossible.
Exactly.
Yes.
But everything has to align to be fight ready.
Yeah.
So I had a hard practice the other day, and my one of my coaches in Russia right now, Coach Almaz, okay, Dazmatov, he's in Russia right now. My other coach, Coach RG, our coach,
Yeah.
he's super busy with boxing and all this, the pandemic. So everybody's kind of separate now, and I'm running my own team. I have my own fitness team. I have my agency that I run, and then there's me as an athlete that's recovering from a knee surgery. I never had any knee surgeries, nothing, but
Yeah.
I haven't stopped. Literally, like I haven't stopped. But after the other day's practice, I was like, I gotta climb like Mount Kilimanjaro to get back here. And I'm excited because
Yeah.
it makes me want to freaking work harder. I'm not even close to being fight ready. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean I can't listen. That's because it's in my mind. Like as long as my mind is right, if fight ready, everything's shut. Boom, boom, take that. That's fight ready. Like you are Sonic the Hedgehog versus like I don't even Felix the cat. Like you're like Flash. You are feeling yourself, and that's fight ready for me. At least.
Now let's
But
talk.
of course,
Yeah, let's talk about this pandemic now. Because fuck
okay.
it.
Jeez.
Why the
Okay.
fuck not? So I know how you feel about most of this shit that's going down. Like I think one of the things I'm noticing is the MMA community, combat sports in general, tend to not give a flying fuck about what's going on. I think from the athletes and the people that I've been training with and associating with, they respect the fact that the thing is going around. Like I publicly say it. I caught COVID, so I know it's real. I know it's
Hmm.
a real thing. Um, why do you think it is that, like in the MMA world, uh, they don't seem to care so much? Do you think it's because we're so used to interaction with people, like grappling and all that kind of stuff, that it almost doesn't seem like a big deal? You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but is that an accurate statement?
I don't know. I'm asking.
That's
Do
okay. We don't know.
do you
I
find?
think no. I think that people are actually genuinely. I mean, I think people are people. Doesn't matter what sport, but I would say that athletes like ourselves, not footballers, not those any athlete that's at a pro level wants to continue to train. That's what
Yes.
we're here for. That's what we do. Especially MMA. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't soccer. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
we're talking MMA. It's a whole different caliber of mindset. It's like, well, at least for me, it's like, no, I can't stop training. What's wrong with you? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Everyone, calm down. You know. So I mean, there's people that are scared, and there's people like myself that this is my life. It is what it is.
Well,
You know.
do you think the pandemic will hurt martial arts in the short term or long term, or do you think that
Will it what? Sorry, you cut out.
do you
What is
think
it?
that martial arts will be affected long term in terms of people wanting to engage in it because of the pandemic? Or do you not?
No, no. Eventually, when this pandemic is done, if at some point, in this lifetime, then no,
Yeah.
of course not. I think we're gonna go through another fourth wave, fifth wave. Yes, more than likely. Just you could just if you know like the background of everything and like what's happening in the world, you kind of pay attention to everything, And that's like I'm not listening to anybody. That's just an intuitive thing.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah,
definitely gonna happen.
I
Yeah.
did. I don't know if you watched the one with Crew Joey, but we both agree that we highly
Go
believe there'll
ahead.
be more lockdowns. There's still, we highly believe this. We're not over this yet. Like,
No,
turn.
I don't think so. I mean, we could be completely wrong, but my intuition is very strong.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's like 5D. You don't know about them things, though.
Well,
Maybe you
yeah,
could be
my
more than that,
intuition
though.
is telling me the same thing. It's telling me this far from over. But I mean, like you say, we'll flow with the go with the flow, go with the flow.
Yeah, that's it. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you kind of gotta go with the current. You can't just go against it.
Yeah,
Even as much, I would like to say I'm a rebel with a cause, but like I also understand like there's nothing you can do. Do we stop our life completely? No, man. You gotta. If you get left behind, like technology's changing. If you have in-person stuff, your ass has to go on Zoom. Your ass has to go on the platforms to make your business run. You gotta move with the times,
yeah,
right? This is good. You get left behind otherwise. Goes
yes.
for everything,
Well,
especially with this pandemic.
a lot of people got left behind during this pandemic, mainly because they were lazy, right? They were complacent, right? And then you have people like you and me who saw, hey, this is an opportunity to grow and get bigger and do bigger things. Whereas a lot
Hmm.
of people just sat back and relaxed and just kind of chilled. And
Or didn't know what to do. It frees up. I mean, everybody's so different. Everybody's on their different paths and life journeys and all that stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm super proud of you. Never mind. Let's
thank
talk
you.
about you. Your ass has been killing it too. So I'm honestly, and not just as like a teammate and a friend, and it just just watching you and like everything that you're doing, like your family and like how you're constantly hustling and doing this, even this podcast. Like I'm excited for you, like in every area, and as a teammate, I want to see like the best for you, and I would hope in return you feel the
Of
same.
course,
Like going back to like people falling off, like a lot of teammates have fallen off, you
yes,
know, or even friends or even like family members and stuff because because people like to judge. It's like people
yeah,
that are vaccinated versus people that aren't. It's like, do you, boo? I'm not judging you.
yeah,
Don't judge me. This is my life. I was born into this world. I opened Anastasia's eyes. I came from Elena. I came from the Most High. Came from Elena, Romanelli, my mom.
yeah,
And I'm going to do what I need to do for my life. I'm not going to judge you for your life. You're not going to judge me for mine. You may, but at the end of the day, I don't care
yeah.
because I'm living in my purpose. So I had to let a lot of people go because not for me. My teammates, it's like, my family, my
Yeah, I know.
friends, anybody that's a part of my circle is my family. And when you don't fit in that circle, but not for my doing because you decided to be another shape,
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do.
Well,
There's nothing I can do.
where you said there's same thing happened to me. There was a lot of people where I just had to let them go. Not because they were bad people
No, not at all.
or they were. It was just there was a clash of opinions, so to speak, and it became toxic. Like when you open up social media and all you see is toxic shit that makes you angry, right? That's no good to go by every single day. Like you don't need to be seeing that
Right.
every morning you wake up, you open and you're getting these conflicting opinions. Now, so in order to preserve those relationships, I had to let some people go. Not permanently, just I don't
I
want
mean,
to.
maybe Maybe they're permanent.
Maybe.
One does not know. If
Yeah.
you're open to, receive them, or they're open for you. If it doesn't, again, it goes back to the energy. If the vibe doesn't match, then it is what it is. You send them off with love, and you hope that they wish the same for you.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing I really wanted to talk to you about. Okay. As a female athlete competing in the professional ranks, uh,
Hmm.
what is your view on like transgender athletes trying to come into women's sport?
Transgender athletes. Ah,
So
give me more.
I'll give
Yeah,
you
give
I'll
me
give you
something
I'll
to
give
go
you a
on.
good example of what just happened with the Olympics, right? So you had what I believe it's a powerlifter
Rec-
powerlifter
Recently,
recently.
in
This
this
just
Olympics.
happened. This happened.
Yeah, I
Pow-
don't pay attention. So tell
Power
me,
power
teach me, please.
powerlifter from Australia. Okay, so you have powerlifting, the sport, cleaning for the thing. Now you have a man who is biologically a man who is now transgender, who they allow
Uh,
to compete as a female.
So he's born a male, but is technically a female inside. His spirit is a female soul.
Yes. What is your thoughts on that? As a professional athlete,
Yes, okay, that's good, because a whole spiritual aspect of me
yeah.
is a totally different realm. So I'm
No,
talking. If we're
no,
talking,
like
if we're talking, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that person's right to be a woman. I don't care. Like if they want to be
yeah,
transition
yeah,
to a
yeah,
woman,
yeah. Of
I'm
course,
talking about you are
in
biological
the
male, and now
in
you're
the three
competing.
D realm, in
Yes.
the 3D realm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's that's there's advantages, to the physical traits of a man versus a female. Do we know the testosterone levels and all that stuff? Because if we can scientifically prove like they have more testosterone, males do.
Well, put this in perspective. Put this in perspective. That okay, you have a natural female athlete as yourself, right? And you have a athlete that's transitioning to be a female. The only way they can do that is with hormone therapy. The same hormone therapy that would, if you took, you would pop and get banned from the sport.
And abs on my face, right?
Abs on your face. Uh,
Oh man.
like so, they have to be taking these drugs to do this process. So
Exactly.
there's no doubt their testosterone levels are way higher
Yeah.
than yours.
Live.
Yeah, there's
Sorry.
no
Yeah. You guys are leaving. Good night, guys. Good night.
yeah, there's no doubt their testosterone level is higher. There's no doubt. It's 100% because they're
Yeah,
pumping
for
themselves full.
sure.
Now, do you think that's fair at all? Because I mean, I say fuck it. That's not fair as shit. That shouldn't be allowed.
No, of course it's not fair. Absolutely not. But then there's like, the people that are like, well, and then you get those people, the activists and all this stuff, but they feel like a female or they feel like a male and you can't go against them. You see the voice that I'm using? I'm just using that.
That's your activist voice.
yeah, it's my, yeah, that's so funny. Listen, that's a Brenda right there, or Karen.
Yeah.
God bless. If your name's Karen and Brenda, hey, yeah, I just used your voice. No, of course. In the 3D realm is I don't think it's it's fair. But listen, this is why you gotta be prepared all around. All right, whether that person has abs in their face, whether that person is a better jujitsu, better this, get your shit. You
Now,
up your game then.
let's take
You
that.
up your game then.
All right, but let's take this to a deeper level. Let's now consider someone like my daughter. Like, say she's 10 years old, or
Right.
say she's a teenage girl competing. Let's pick a simple sport, running, right? Sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
There's
A
obvious
simple sport. You don't know
simple.
what he do, guys. Runners, he doesn't know what he's
No,
talking
no,
about. But
no. Fine. If you're a runner, I'm not trying to insult you. I mean, like you literally just run. You run really
just
fast.
run.
It's
That's all you
fucking
do.
hard. It's hard to do at the highest level, but you run.
Why don't you just keep grinding the gears? How
Yeah,
about that, eh?
I'm just digging myself a bigger hole. No, but
Yeah,
there's an obvious difference between when you watch the
of
men
course.
run the 100 meters, they're all running nines, right? You watch the women run the 100 meters, the fastest women are running 10s and 11s, right? It's just biological differences. Now
Correct.
you take a biological man, throw that into mix with a female who's 14, 15, just finding out that she can, compete and wanting to compete, and then all of a sudden you change the equation on her. You're allowing males to compete with her. And
Yeah, I know.
and those are spots. Those are spots that if she wins, can change her life. But now he's taking that, or he
Or
with the
she.
transgender is taking
She,
that
he, they,
spot,
them.
and they
He, they,
clearly
them.
have fuck all that. They clearly have a physical biological advantage,
Advantage.
right? Like
Absolutely no. In the physical advantages and testosterone versus, of course, it's not fair. It's not fair. And if I was the athlete that felt that way, I think it's hard because, like, how do you say? For me, I'd probably still compete if I was transgender and I was born a girl, but I felt like a man. I would still be in the women's because inside my soul,
yeah,
now we're talking like 5D. My soul feels like a female. It happens. Like, it's a thing. I get it. But the physical 3D realm, you are still a female or you're still a male. If I was that like that, this is my own, this is me. If I would say that I would, whatever body I was in, morphed into in this lifetime,
yeah,
I would go with that. So if I was a male trapped in a female body, I would, you know, am I saying it right? Shit,
yeah.
the shit gets confusing.
Yes,
If
it's
I
very
was a
confusing.
yeah, calm down, everyone, calm down, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So if I'm a female, in the 3D realm, this I'm Annie,
yeah,
Anastasia, aka Team Annie and Mother. But I felt like a male inside. I'm gonna compete at a female, or
yeah,
vice versa,
yeah,
right? Male to female. Whatever my physical body is in this world, I would, for myself, I would be that athlete for that gender.
yeah.
But not everybody feels like that. They're like, no, here's my activist, my activist
The
point.
activist voice.
No, no, no. I don't know. Anyways, anyways, I mean, like it's yes, of course. If I had a daughter or a son, I'd be like, man, what the hell, man? This dude or female is clearly a female, that's clearly a man. They can't be in the same thing. Come on. Of course, people can always say that,
Yes.
but I always like to think it from a higher perspective. I see both sides, but if I was an athlete like that, I would stay into the body that I would
And then
as an athlete. As an athlete, I would
yes,
stay into
as
the
an
body that
athlete,
I was
strictly athletic. I don't care
blessed
about,
with.
yeah, I don't care about any of the other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Everyone
yeah.
would make it. They'd probably make this topic out to be like some political shit. I'm saying strictly athletic. There's also the other.
Never political,
There's
always
the yeah.
spiritual.
There's another factor that goes along
God
with it.
vibes only, baby.
You train with men all the time, so you know that there's a strength difference, right? And so you know that when you have a transgender athlete, now when we get into combat sports, that's the touchy part because that's when you're talking about a woman's physical well-being is at risk, right?
Of
Now,
course.
right? Because you train with men all the time, there's a big difference between the pressure of
Strength.
jiu-jitsu that a man can put on you compared to a woman. Now, you look at there's a good example that Fallon Fox character who is transgender who was competing in MMA, right? And
This is a while ago, right?
this was a while ago. She fell off because
Yeah.
there was a bunch of controversy. The fact of the matter is, she wasn't even that good, right? She wasn't that good, but she was fighting girls, and she was a biological man. I have a big fucking problem with that because
Wasn't she a Muay Thai fighter or something?
no, she's just a dude who wanted to fight MMA and transitioned to be transgender and thought it was. In my opinion, it's outrageous because now we're talking about there's a difference between a sport of like say gymnastics and fighting, right?
Yeah, of course.
Fighting, we're
Of course.
talking about physical violence to another human being,
I
and
love gymnasts.
and
My
now
next life.
right. So combat sport, like how would you be okay with them saying, "Hey, Ashton feels like a woman today. He's going to be competing in the women's division at whatever weight, and you got to fight him or her." You see what I'm saying now?
No, I mean, listen. If he or she or they or them is 105, let's make it happen. And if I
It's
beat them, God willing, boom, baby, I just bought a he, she, they, them. God bless. I mean, I would listen if I'm. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't control other people. But yes, I
yes,
know. See,
yeah,
that I'm bringing it back to me because I can only speak for myself. Like, if I'm gonna fight at 125, no, the person's at 105, and he's a she, they, them, bop, boom, beam.
So you're saying you would still fight even though there's a
Yes,
risk for physical harm to you?
yes, because they're gonna be at the same thing. Because I'm saying that because I'm used to training with males and fighting males because I do
Yes.
think I'm that. Not tooting my own horn. God, please,
But
everybody
now
relax.
let's take it to the amateur level.
I think I'm pretty good.
What about an
I'm
amateur
all right.
what about an amateur female? So a girl who's just getting started, 15, 13, 14 years old, starting to compete. But now boys are crossing over into their jiu-jitsu divisions or Muay Thai.
No,
No.
no, I cannot. For me, I can only speak for myself. I would be okay with it,
Yeah.
but If that was my daughter, no.
Hell no,
Or my
right?
son. No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be. But no, I wouldn't be as a coach. Not as a coach. Not even as like a parent. I'm not even a parent. God bless.
yeah.
Even though all my students are my like kids, you know. But even if they're older, regardless, off topic, but also on topic. Anyways, yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I would have. I'd be like, man, are you sure you're good? And if but like, it's a touchy one. It's like, are you comfortable with it? Coaches, are you comfortable with it? I'm comfortable. Do you feel like you can beat them? I know that you can. Or if I'm a coach, I'm like, nah, we're not doing this. But
Yeah.
if I know my athlete's first choice, the
Yes.
athlete says I can do it, coach, and I'm comfortable with it because
You'll let
I
them
know
do.
that they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, he or she. Of course, I would never, ever put someone in danger.
Yeah.
You have to be your decision. And that's it. It has to be your decision. And I have to be the coach, the proper coach, because I
Yeah.
care about the people that I teach. I would hope that's how my coaches, they care about me. I love my coaches, RG, Ryan Grant, Altnaz, Paul
Yeah.
Jalbert. He was one of my first guys, my third man. But anyways, regardless, these guys are all people that care about their students, their athletes. So I would be the same. Yeah, we're ready? No, we're not. We're not taking this fight because
Oh,
you're
what?
clearly not mentally ready.
Well,
I'm itchy.
my last thing on this point is, what about if, like, say you're in terms of opportunity, that person comes along, not a biological female, and stealing opportunities from actual biological females for competition. You know
What
what
do
I
you
mean?
mean by stealing? No, I know what you mean, but
So, like,
what are we classifying? What are we
let's
classifying as stealing?
let's take
Is that person better than the girls that are technically born
what
into like women and
let's take
souls or
the
women?
let's take the New Zealand weightlifter for example. So I watched this. I paid attention to this story pretty well. So the actual woman that was competing in that division that won before, her lift was no longer competitive, so she wouldn't be able to make the team because of this person. So now
Right.
she had the basically her in her interview she had the choice. They gave her the choice. She either lose 20 pounds and drop down a category, or she has to retire from weightlifting.
She retired?
She actually lost the weight and dropped down. But
Oh, I would hope so.
yeah, but the point is why should she even have to be given that ultimatum as a biological female competing in sport?
I know that's whatever. But because at the end of the day, that person's still gonna compete. So she made the decision. And if you're not good enough to beat that, I get it. I don't know. It's a tricky one.
It's a tricky one, but
Yeah, I mean, you can only talk about it like if you're in that scenario too.
yeah,
Like we can talk on it. We can, reference things and like, well, compare and this. I can talk from my point of view. It's like one of those things like, what would happen if somebody put a gun to your head?
yeah,
Oh, I would do this. No, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do. Relax, because you've never been in that scenario.
yeah,
I would do this and this. No, man, you don't know what you're gonna do until you're in that scenario, all right, or in that situation. So that's kind of like how I feel on this topic. I mean, if it happened to me, I'd be like, man, like, maybe I'd be like, hey, like, is this fair? Or, hey, you know what? Let me step up my game.
yeah,
Let's
right.
let's see if I lose, I lose to a man or I lose to a female or whatever the case is. But the whole point is we ain't losing. All
Yeah,
right. But anyways,
yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I mean,
I know you know.
it's a weird time to be even discussing that because when me and you were coming up, this wasn't even a thing, right? It wasn't even
Yeah,
not
like
even
as
a word.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
eating peanut butter and jam sandwiches in class and Nutella, baby.
yeah.
That's it. We can't do that shit
All right.
anymore. Okay.
Before we go, I wanted to ask you this, like martial arts, MMA. It's a universal language. Anywhere you go in the world, it's expressed in such different forms, and you can be from Brazil and come to Canada, and all you have to do is just go on the mats, and it's a universal language. If you understand what I'm saying.
Of
Uh,
course.
when you're done with this, when it's all done, like you put fighting aside and martial arts is just something that you train once in a while because you're older. Like, what do you hope to leave behind? Like, what is your goal in terms of your mark with your athletic career and your company and your business and your marketing agency? What is it like Annie's? Like, I know I can see it fucking boiling in your brain, but like, what is
You
the
see
mark?
it?
Yeah, what
You
is the
feel
mark?
it. You don't see it. You feel it,
I
baby.
can feel it. I can see it. And she's like, I'm about to just leash on this motherfucker.
I'm gonna forget everything that you said because it's way too vast to even whatever. So I'm trying to think of one like term or something.
Yeah.
Continue though. I'll try my best.
Oh, but yeah, but what's the mark that you want to leave when you're done with martial arts?
Um, authenticity.
There you go. There you go. That's good. That's a good one. And
Authenticity.
elaborate on that for people who are
Yeah, this is authentically putting the work in, authentically teaching, authentically the way I carry myself, how I portray myself, how I speak to you, how passionate I am, how it comes across. Uh, if I'm angry, I want you to feel it. I
yeah,
want you to know. I want it to be authentic. If I'm happy, which most of the time I am,
yeah,
honestly, I want you to feel everything that comes from within because it's authentic. If I'm teaching you something, it's because I've done it before.
yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
It's because I've been here before. I don't want that to come across in the words that I speak, the actions that I take, and who I am as a person, as
yeah,
a coach, as a mentor, as a business owner, as a friend, a girlfriend. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. Like, I want my authenticity to show in everything that I do,
yeah,
especially when it comes to leaving a legacy and building an empire.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So anybody that works with me and my team, the winning team, the good vibes only,
Yes.
that's legit. I want people to feel amazing. I want them to feel that when they leave my presence, and it's not always, doesn't always happen. When
Yeah.
they leave my presence though, I want them to know that I was genuine what I told them, whether I said it because I was angry and I
Yeah.
told you straight to your face, or that if I'm telling you I'm proud of you as a student, as a client, that's because I'm authentically proud of you. And if I'm telling you that your ass is weak and needs to get better, I want you to feel that
Yeah.
because I'm authentically care about you and I'm telling you. And I would expect the same. So
Uh,
authenticity.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, before we finish, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can come train with you, how they can get in touch with you. Let them know about winning team. Let them know about everything you're doing before we finish the shit off. Because I know you're doing so much stuff. I know that.
Yes.
How can
Yeah,
they get a
everything's
hold
a,
of you?
all right. Listen, I'm an Instagram girl. Okay. So Team Annie Animale on the gram, baby. We got hacked, okay? So we back and we're about to hit it even harder. All right. So at Team Annie Animale send us a message. I want to get to know everybody that messaged me. I send voice notes to everybody. It doesn't matter if there's 100 literally messages in my DMs. I get back to every single person. It doesn't matter. And the bigger that we get, the bigger that I get, it's still gonna be like that because the authenticity, baby, is everything. I want people to feel fudging special. And I want them to Instagram is the number one. Then we're gonna hit YouTube. We're just gonna keep winning together, all right? Because the winning team stays winning. Listen, I got hacked, okay? The account got hacked. I didn't even sweat it. I said, okay, all right, God, this happened for a reason. Let's just go with the flow and flow with the go. That's it. I'll get it back when I do. Boom! We got it back, baby, and we're winning. And that's it. I got a whole bunch of messages from students, clients. People have no idea, and it's just
Yeah.
a blessing. So now we're going to hit it. Our Instagram is the number one platform. That's where you can reach it. If you want to train with me, my team, send a message on Instagram. And then from Instagram, it's just going to keep expanding from there,
She'll
God
get
willing.
back to you. Basically saying fucking message her on Instagram and she'll get back to you.
Pretty much, send us a DM. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And
Instagram.
before we finish this off, everybody, make sure you like this video, share, subscribe to the channel. There's a button right there and a button right there. You press both of those fucking buttons easy. You just click like that. You just click like that.
Because you grind your gears, baby.
That
Because
grinds my fucking gears. Click on
grinds my gears about to hit it.
click on the fucking subscribe and the like. Show some love. And hit up Anastasia Nikolakakos for training. Now, before I'm not tooting her horn, but fucking it, she knows how to train, guys. She knows exactly what she's doing. When I first started training with the team, Coach RG, Ryan Grant, our coach, circled us around and he singled her out, telling everybody in the gym.
I don't remember.
You remember that, don't you?
No, I don't.
You out, and he said, she is the hardest worker in the room and she has the most potential. And you know what? 3-4 years later, it's still true. It's still true to this day. So if you want to get a really great female athlete, support a really great female athlete, really great female coach, she is the one to go. I will send 100% of the people to you. And I think anybody who wants to work with you should never have a doubt in their mind that they are getting good training. So thank you so much for coming on today. We're going to definitely do it again for sure. Love it.
111%.
Fucking energy. Look at that. She's drinking a coffee. We're filming.
Listen, this is the black iced coffee from Mac Daddy's, okay, with my protein shake in it.
We're filming at 9:30 in the fucking night. And this chick's drinking coffee. That's
I'm
how.
not having a yeah.
She's probably gonna go for a 10-mile run after this, right?
I did a 10K, but whatever. Who gives a shit at the end of the day? But I did it today.
All
Yo,
right.
it was so hot outside. Didn't even get a tan. You would think.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Tune in for another Grandma Gears next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for having me, Ash.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor. Click the like below. Share on YouTube. Share on Instagram. Share on Facebook. Spread the word so I can keep creating more content for you and keep providing you with a great podcast experience. Peace out.